All right. Happy Monday. I hope it's happy. I hope it's genuinely happy for you. And honestly, I love this community. I'm so in gratitude this morning for this community. Um, I spent the weekend with family, and so I didn't really go on social media that much. So I had a lot of comments to respond to, and you guys are on fire. You guys are here for such connection to your soul led legacy. And I hope that this video brings you clarity and insight. And I just want to say that the deepest sorrow, the deepest sorrow that you experience or are experiencing right now is an invitation to become who you are meant to be in this lifetime. I'm going to say that again. The deepest sorrow that you are feeling is an invitation into becoming who you are meant to be in this lifetime. But we avoid, we deny, we try to mask that sorrow and that pain because it's unbearable, because we've not been taught how to be safe in our skin. And sometimes you don't even know you're doing it. You reject yourself in order to be accepted by someone else because you've never learned to be safe in your own skin, or at least how to hold it. So that's why I'm here that's why I'm here. That's what I'm here to do, because it saved me first. I'm going to share today how the Soul Talk method saved and healed me first, and why it's still a part of my daily and weekly routine and practice, because it helps me hold my state of being. So many of us were taught at a young age to deny our true self when, if you're living in denial of who you truly are, it's a life barely lived. It's a life of chaos. It's a life of trauma. And, you know, the solution for that is learning to be safe within who you are, but it's not your fault, okay? The very thing that will propel you forward, the very thing that you crave, is also the thing that you fear the most, which is learning to accept yourself, learning to see yourself, learning that the deepest sorrow that you feel is not something to fear. Moving within it and learning to transmute fear into love is the way out, so you can build that secure future. So many of us, we are living in the past day after day after day, thinking this is as good as it gets, thinking that bouncing from chaos to chaos, living in I'm never good enough is a life sentence, and it's not. It's not. I am someone who was living in the depths of my sorrow, feeling not good enough, in self-hate, self-judgment, so much shame. But guess what? I believed it was good enough. I believed it was the best I get. I lived with riddle anxiety, riddle panic, not sleeping since I was a young girl, thinking that this was normal. And I'm here living in a beach cottage home. I'm living in a place where I am stable. I'm able to call in things like a cat into my reality. And it's all because my nervous system is stable and I feel good in who I am. I mean, that sounds so fluffy, but just think about your world right now. Are you in touch with your body? Do you feel safe in your skin? Can you trust yourself? Can you trust your emotions? Do you feel connected to your life? Do you wake up with fulfillment? It's huge. You want that romantic partner. You want that career. You want to have a better bank account. You want to be able to show up for your kids. But have you taken the time to slow down and really accept yourself? I want you to wake up and enjoy your life, not wake up and barely get by, feeling like you'll never be good enough, you'll never have enough. It's a horrible way to live. And you can't mask it. You can't fake it. You need to face it. So, yeah, one of the things that I called in within the last few months was a cat, and there was just this knowing within me. And I said it out loud to a friend. I said, um, I'm going to have a cat come into my life, but I won't have to go to the store. And literally a week and a half later, I was helping a friend move, and this cat came into my life. And, it's kind of funny. I'm working outside in my kitchen today. My office is around the corner because this amazing cat pooped in my office over the weekend while I was away. So that was really fun to come home to. And it was kind of just like, It's the meaning that you get to assign it to. This cat is teaching me all the time. But, you know, that is our normal. Our normal is we trust ourselves. We can call and draw things in. We don't have to grasp. We don't have to effort. We don't have to achieve in order to be worthy enough to then barely get breadcrumbs. We, you have the ability to move into a paradigm within life where you wake up fulfilled. You know that it's safe to trust yourself. You know that you have a purpose within you and you express it outward. You wake up looking forward to your life. And it's not after you get something, it is about who you are. So, the Soul Talk method, if you want something more than just coping mechanisms, right? Like therapy is great. Therapy is a great place to start. Therapy is also great if you don't have childhood trauma. But if you want to move into that secure future, if you want to have more than just coping mechanisms, if you want to move into a future where you are so stable and you're actually beyond the pain and patterns and you're actually out of the cycles, you can't just sit in therapy session after session talking about it. You need to actually move beyond it. And, I have my master's in counseling. I have been to therapy myself. And when I was in the depths of my own pain, I realized very quickly that mindset alone was not going to help me. It actually kept me stuck. It kept me stuck so much that I couldn't get out of bed for months and I had gut issues, I had chronic pain, and I was only 23 or 24. And so, there's some of you that come into the method, that are in your 50s, 60s, and that shows you're never too late, okay? You're never ever too late. Please, let's just squash that mindset myth that you're running out of time. It's an illusion. It's a way to keep you in fear. Some people are coming into this realization that they're made for more in their 80s, and I'm here for it. You're never too late to do this work. You're also never too early to do this work. And I was in my early 20s, having so much pain in my body, but I had ignored my body as a way to survive. And so, I was looking at myself in the mirror, hating myself, seeing all my imperfections. That's, so much shame. And, you know, it can be rooted in so much more than just trauma, right? I had a father that was very explosive, very violent, and then I witnessed my mother you know, being a victim to that and trying to raise us. She did an amazing job. I love my mom. She did an absolutely amazing job. But she was also trying to heal from a very traumatic entrapment that she was in for 11 years with a man who did not know how to love her properly. And so, at a very young age, I learned that chaos is normal, panic is normal. And I lived my life constantly going from one thing to the other. Just, okay, I got to get through this week. I got to get through this month. I would travel as a way to escape. Every 6 months, it was like, oh my gosh, I got to be on the run. And it was a coping mechanism to escape myself. And I honestly, guys, I did not think I would make it this far. Because now in my life, I'm stable. I'm planning for the future. I'm settling down. I'm having this, okay, I'm in a place where I want to build and I want to be here for the rest of my life. I don't have to go from one thing to the next just to get by. And you'll deny this from yourself until you know that there is actually a way out. But it's not this escaping like through numbing and addictions and, barely getting by. It's, okay, I'm going to move into my body. I'm going to regulate my nervous system out of the panic that I've learned since childhood. Because here's the thing, when you've had childhood trauma or you've had that abusive relationship, you can leave your childhood home. You can cut out your parents with that anger and resentment. You can leave that abusive relationship, and that is a big step. But it doesn't end there, because so often clients will come to me, and this was my story too, of, okay, you left the abuse, but you're still so stuck in the patterns that the abuse gave you, that the trauma gave you. And you're continuing to deny yourself safety from your body. And so you'll repeat the chaos just with other things. You'll repeat it with how you pay your bills. You'll be behind in bills. You'll be panicked for money every month. You will settle for a job that really doesn't treat you right, or, isn't giving you the money that you actually deserve or crave. You'll settle in a relationship where it's giving you these emotional highs that kind of give you some safety, but you've learned so often that good things get taken from you, you get taken advantage of, and you keep living from that place of I'm never enough. And I want you to know your worthiness. I want you to be so connected to your emotions that when fear does come up, when anxiety does come up, you see it as a way to trust yourself instead of denying yourself who you are. There's a difference. Um, and so the Soul Talk method, I built it from a place of I was living in such self abandonment that at the same time, I'd have these soul knowings, these glimmers come in of, but Sarah, this isn't the end. Sarah, you are made for more. And I started to trust that part of me. And it's like, okay, if there's this part of me that just has a little bit of hope, how can that become bigger? And I started to connect with myself. I started to realize, okay, this is where I am right now. But where do I want to go? Because you have to reach this point where you are so done. You are so done with what you've been given. And you start to believe that there is something better. And I mean, you've got a choice to make. Do you want to stay stuck or do you want to believe in that part of you? Because once you start to trust yourself, even just starting to trust yourself, you learn that the unknown is safe. And I teach this to my clients now. Hi, Maria. That presence, when you come into the present moment, which is coming into your body, and you cannot heal your trauma without coming into your body. Like, this is key. We want the body and the mind working together, which is why when people come into my method, they have more results after just a few months than years of therapy. I have a lady right now who's working with me. She did 27 years of therapy and she is shifting more within 4 months. It's insane. And the body is what holds the trauma and the body is what can heal you. It's so incredible. So, I can't remember where I was going with that, but if you can just allow yourself to lean in, can you lean into the possibility that you can wake up without judgment, without shame? How would your life look? When I started doing this work, I started asking myself, Sarah, what do you actually want? Because up until this point, I thought that question was not allowed. I thought that question was, sinful or selfish. And that is the question where if you can just start today to give yourself permission to just take a breath, take a big exhale and go, okay, what do I actually want? If I wasn't terrified, if I wasn't living this panic, if I didn't live from the place of I'm not enough, you have wants, you have desires, you have gifts, you have this soul-led knowing that you deserve to be connected to and to become a pure channel so that you can live from that. So many of you want to serve the world, you want to have purpose, but you're denying yourself who you are. And guess what? It's a long road to just chase after outside of you what could possibly be your purpose. You'll be banging around from chaos to chaos to chaos. I want you to know. I want you to have a firm foundation. And so, a big part of this is I healed my sexual trauma through this method. So I have people coming into this method who have something as deep as sexual trauma, and then as they'll say, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I had mom and dad, they loved me, they had a roof over my head. Can we just say this, that a roof over your head is your bare minimum that you should be receiving from parents? Okay. You need emotional safety, and most of us did not get that. Okay, because we didn't know about that. Sexual trauma was shh, don't talk about it, pretend it didn't happen. So if you're told that something that happened to you that gave you, panic, that gave you fear, and you did speak up about it, and then you were told, shh, pretend it didn't happen, you've been living that out in so many other ways. Pretend it didn't happen. So you bury it, you suppress it. And so what this method does is it teaches you a right way of how to stop suppressing this and become free from this emotional pain and know who you are. So many of you are just trying to get out of it, just get out of it, just forget it, just bypass it, just avoid it. And you are going to keep repeating the cycle of chaos. And I want you to be in a place that is so secure. Um, so sexual trauma, and then, I was told to be silenced about it. Because here's the thing, if we want to get even deeper today and talk about religious trauma, when you're taught things like your body needs to be covered up, you are responsible, like women, you're responsible for men's pleasure. Let me tell you, men are confused too when they grow up with that. Um, I've had men clients come to me with religious trauma, all to do with sexual things, because we're taught so many things about the body. It's like invite Jesus into your heart, but your heart is deceitful, and deny yourself, and you have to change in order to be accepted by this loving God. If you have something like sexual trauma, you will silence yourself because there's so much shame attached to it. And when you come into your body and learn that you don't have to live through that lens of shame anymore, I say this, it's like I was living life through a shattered glass, and it was panicked. It was full of anxiety. And when I came home to myself, it's like I finally broke through that glass, and all I see now is bright colors and beauty, and I hear music. And it's a way of living through your body out. Your purpose is within you, and then you express it outward. So, you know, if you stop chasing validation, if you stop chasing that high of temporary acceptance from someone who doesn't even know you because you don't know yourself, right? And you deny yourself, so you're showing up as this other person. Um, this is an invitation to turn your deepest sorrow into your life's mission. This is an invitation to turn your deepest sorrow into your life mission. This is a deep invitation to connect with your soul, to no longer stuff down, to no longer be silenced, but to come into your body. Your trauma that happened to you as a child is not a life sentence. So how much longer do you want to talk about it? Or how much longer do you want to stuff it down? I want you to be liberated. I want you to be liberated and move into a place that is secure. It's about raising your standards. It's about raising what you thought was worthy and really coming into what you are worthy of, no longer denying your self-love. And this is for people who want more than just a coping mechanism. You are ready to receive. You are ready to receive a solution at the root. I want you to send me a message or comment on this video, Heal the Root, and I'll send you the link to apply. I also would love to hear about your story, what you are moving through, your deepest sorrow within you. See, keywords within you is an invitation to become the most empowered version. And you don't have to wait years and years and years. If you've been stuck in these patterns for years and years and years, stop believing it's going to take years and years and years to get out of it. Decide that you are worthy. When someone comes into this container, I tell them that you are making a decision, a sacred promise to the future version of yourself. So it's going to take a level up and trust within yourself that, okay, I might not feel fully ready, but I know that I am worthy to fully believe in this part of me. And I'm going to take that first decision, that first step into building a new secure future. And you do not have to do this alone. You see, you chase after validation because you're so lonely, right? You don't want to do this alone. So can you come into a container? Can you say yes to this? I'd love to hold you in this space where you receive proper support. I'm going to believe in you, but I'm also going to hold you accountable. I'm going to hold you in safe space, but I'm also going to make sure that you move beyond what you've been told is possible. And I want to invite you into this sacred space. So if this is resonating with you, again, comment Heal the Root, because here in this space, I get at the root. We are not here to bypass. We are not here to give you just a surface level band-aid. You deserve to heal at the root. So I'm Sarah Evangeline. It's so good to meet you. If you're new in this space, share with me who you are, say hi, and know that it is safe to rebuild love from the ground up. Nothing is going to be taken from you when you rebuild love within. And I think that's why you bypass it, is because you've been so used to things being taken from you. But this is the time This is the method that teaches you to build such a secure foundation so that you know that you don't have to fear bad things happening to you. You deserve good things happening to you. Let this be your first decision to that sacred future. What matters is what you do in the now. Are you going to keep delaying, or are you going to make a sacred decision? I'm here for you, sending you so much love, and I hope to hear from you soon.